So I used to support the idea of CANZUK, at least a free trade agreement kind of thing, not necessarily open borders like with the European Union, up until last year, because if there's one thing that came about with all the restrictions last year and the year before, it really gave a mask-off moment to all the politicians in Western countries and demonstrating to me just how authoritarian they were willing to go in a short amount of time whenever they felt like it. And perhaps the worst ones were Australia, Canada and New Zealand. And I'm going to show you why I no longer support CANZUK. August 23rd, 2021. Rescue dogs shot dead in Australia over coronavirus restrictions. A council in Australia killed the impounded animals to prevent volunteers at an animal shelter from travelling to pick them up and potentially spreading the virus. So the Australian government was more than happy to just innocently murder puppies because that's how far they were willing to go. There was dead silence from the animal rights activists at the time. I remember doing a rant at the time and it got censored immediately for misinformation. Mandating these? I've said it before and I'll say it again, I don't give a damn about your status. You cannot mandate consent. And then there's the amazing Jacinda Ardern, who everyone was in love with a few years ago, proudly boasting that New Zealand will become a two-tier society between Vs and un-Vs. Answering to a reporter at the time who asked her about the two-tier society, she proudly admitted that is what it is. I would expect this kind of comment and behaviour from a European nation or somewhere that has a history of tyranny, but not New Zealand. A country governed by liberalism and the rule of law. There is no such thing as a two-tier society. It does not belong in Western civilization. Again, I don't give a damn about your status. This is about whether or not you have a right to choose what you want to do. Whether you have the individual right or liberty to take something or not. You cannot mandate consent. People will justify it by saying, oh, it's just to make you safe, but it's a slippery slope because every time a government tries to force you to do something, they always say it's in your best interest. It never, ever ends there, as history has shown. And then there's Fidel Trudeau's Canada. The same man who once praised China for its basic dictatorship. The same man who gave a glowing eulogy for Fidel Castro, a dictator of Cuba. The richest man in Cuba, I might add. The man who died with $900 million worth of assets in his name, while the average Cuban made $2 a month. Yeah, he began freezing the bank accounts linked to people who were protesting his mandates. Think about that for a second. People went to a protest, protesting his policies and his plans, just mandates, by the way. Yeah, we're going to freeze your bank accounts. Funny enough, ties into why I'm against a cashless society. And it didn't stop there, he was cancelling credit cards as well. Justifying it by saying they were far right, they were misogynist, they were racist, they were anti-Vs and all the rest of it. It's no wonder the European Parliament actually boycotted him when he came for a visit. So yeah, I don't want anything to do with these tyrannical states.